Hey, good evening, family and friends, brothers and sisters. This is Chaplain Cy coming to you from Puyallup. I am back in the saddle out here, a very snowy and cold Puyallup, Washington. I bragged about this area when I was in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago because it never snows out here. Never snows. We didn't even have shovels. I had to go next door to a neighbor to get a shovel to shovel the driveway out. But weather follows me. So anytime I'm talking trash about how nice a place is, it ultimately comes back to haunt me. And it did. We got walloped last night. We got about 6 inches of snow. I think there's other places in the Seattle area that have up to a foot of snow. So we got hit pretty good. So it's cold, it's snowy, and welcome. Thank you for coming back to me. I know I have not done a video. My daughter Sammy reminded me, I think November was the last installment I did. So I apologize. I simply have to get better and more consistent on these videos if I want to gain any traction or do anything with this. It's kind of like my little fireside chats, but I do need to be more consistent. So thank you for supporting me first and foremost. Without the support, without the feedback, there probably would be no reason for me to even be doing this. So thank you. Please continue to support me. And as I slowly grow my ministry, the notes, the messages, the kind words from friends and family, my colleagues who are watching me from afar, thank you. And I am only going to get better. I promise you, as I move forward with this ministry, I do feel that God has his hand on my shoulder and he is pushing me in ways that I never thought I would be pushed. So I am eternally blessed, and I'm thankful that God chose a wretched soul like me to be one of his spokespersons. If you could say that, I guess I'm one of his spokespersons. I never thought I would be, but yet here I am. And it hasn't come without having some sadness. I lost my mom. My mom, Joan Ollie, passed away January 17th. My mom battled dementia for quite a while, and it finally took its toll on her, and she just stopped eating, and she just lost so much weight. And she wasn't a big woman to begin with. My mom was pretty petite. She passed away comfortably, we're told. I know it's just so hard nowadays with our loved ones dying in hospitals, and there's nobody there. Nobody from a family standpoint. You're not allowed to be in there. So it's so sad, and it's so hurtful that not only my mom, but other folks as well. I've heard it, other family members, friends who have their loved ones passing away in hospitals and nursing homes and these type of places without their family being able to surround them. When my dad passed away, my dad Solly Ollie passed away in 2005. My dad had cancer. We were there when he took his last breath. And there's something, when your parents, it's hurtful to lose your parents, and you always think, okay, God, don't let them suffer. Please do not let them suffer. Take them. And when God does, you always think you're going to be prepared for it, but you're never really prepared to handle seeing your loved ones go home, basically go home. It's tough, and we mourn, and I grieved, and I know my sister grieved, I know my children grieved, friends and family, we all grieve when we lose loved ones. But one thing that I will take solace in is I know my mom is in a better place. Amen. She is in a much better place. She is hooping and hollering with her twin brother, my Uncle Pie, John Richard Scott. She's hooping and hollering with her sister, Thelma. Her brothers, Edward and Donald. She's with her mom and dad, Marjorie Scott, Charles C. Scott. She is there with family, surrounding her in God's kingdom. We are the ones here that are dealing with everything that society and life is throwing at us, and it's coming at us at warp speed. So when we mourn, I asked myself when I was flying back, when we mourn, who are we mourning for? Are we mourning for our loved ones that left because they're not feeling any pain right now? Or do we mourn the memory? Or are we actually mourning ourselves because we're here to deal with this craziness? We really are. We are in the thick of things. So I shed my tears. I was fortunate enough to do a part of her eulogy. My cousin Skip, Reverend Edward Allen Scott, did a beautiful tribute video, and the volume wasn't turned up enough. And then my mom's pastor, Reverend Daryl Kennedy from the Rodman Street Missionary Baptist Church in Pittsburgh zoomed his eulogy, and that was different. But that's the sign of the times of things going on and how most churches aren't available for homegoing services. I think a lot of ministers are doing graveside services because it's outside and you can probably social distance a little bit more. But it's a brand new day on how we deal with our loved ones when they pass away, and we want to celebrate their life. It forces us to kind of change our MO on how we do things. So it was a little stressful trying to do that. But my sister and I and my brother-in-law, Ricky, Pretty Ricky is what they call him. And I mean, everybody pitched in, family members there. My kids, Samaria Hope made it in, Cy made it in. My daughter Tasha could not make it because as we speak, I think maybe within 24 to 48 hours, she will be giving birth to her first child and my first grandbaby. So as I said with my mom's eulogy, God takes and he gives. So he's taken my mom, but he has given me my first grandbaby, little Joey, little girl, Joey, Joiee, I believe. Tasha spelled that. So I'm very excited and ready to get on a plane and go to San Antonio at some point to go visit and see my daughter and my grandbaby. Man, I'm stoked. So again, there are things that we mourn about, and then just when that happens, you look at life. I'm like, man, my first grandbaby is almost about to enter this world. So I could not be happier. I tell you, it's been a unique month, but I realized that my faith, my newfound faith, is very strong. My spirit is soaring. I'm so excited about Trinity Universal Life Church, my new ministry up here in the Puyallup, Tacoma area. I have board members. I got Catherine Fath, Dr. Fath on my board. I got Stacy Lawless on my board. I've got other folks that are excited to be involved in this potential congregation. And I promise you, I will not let you down. I will deliver. I'm excited. It's such a great time right now, even with everything going on. And I have to recall this. When I was doing my eulogy for my mom, the weirdest thing happened in that funeral home as I was looking at my notes, and then I looked up and I actually saw my mom in the back of the funeral home looking at me as I was doing her eulogy, and she was looking so approvingly and nodding and pointing. It was like, that's my son. That's when it hit me that, man, this calling is wonderful. I just wish that it would have happened a little bit earlier. I know I won't harp on this because God anoints when he feels the time is right. It's not when Sai's ready for it. God was like, okay, I'm going to tap you, and this is what you are going to do. And I've got my marching orders. I've got my assignment. I waited my whole career for the ultimate assignment. For you all know, I've traveled all over the world protecting Vice President Gore, Mikhail Gorbachev, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, all these luminaries that I protected. I was always looking for my marching orders. And I got the ultimate marching orders now. I got them from God. I got them, and I'm getting ready to roll with it. I'm enjoying my seminary classes. I'm trying to get as much education as I can in these times and what I can afford, because I'm a broke minister. I will say, it's not about the luxuries of working for a job at $100,000 and $200,000 a year. I am back to square one, and I'm okay with that. And I will put it together, and I will do the absolute best, because I'm going to do right by God. I can't fool him, and I know what he has me setting out to do. And we were talking about mourning. I was going through and I was looking at John, the book of John, chapter 11, when Lazarus, a good friend of Jesus, Lazarus was the brother of Mary and Martha, and all three of them were tight with Jesus. And Jesus found out that Lazarus was very ill. So Jesus made his way to Bethany. And when he got there, Martha told him that Lazarus was already dead. He had been in the ground for 4 months. And Jesus wept openly. He wept openly. He was truly taken aback and truly moved that he lost his friend Lazarus. And he ultimately went and resurrected Lazarus. But for those of you who feel like you can't mourn, it's not acceptable if you have problems with the grieving process, know that Jesus wept and grieved at the loss of Lazarus. So it's okay. And I've shed tears, but I feel good. I feel good that my mom does not have the illnesses that she has. And ultimately, we will lose more. And I was telling my sister before I left Pittsburgh, we are now at the age that we're losing our parents. I'm 60, when you're 65, 70, and your parents are in their 80s and 90s, we're at that point of our lives where we are losing our loved ones. That's the cycle of life. You come into this life, you're a baby, you're nurtured by your parents, you get older, you see your parents get older, and then you ultimately see your parents leave this earth and go to God's kingdom. So that's the reality that I've taken. And I know that I've got other family members who are ill, and I pray each and every night for their good health, their comfort. I pray that God keeps my family members who are afflicted and ill right now, keep them comfortable, renew their faith if their faith is lacking, light that spirit, and know that when you do leave this earth, you're in good hands. And if I can convey any message, and ultimately, my ticket will be scanned. I'm not immune to this. None of us are. We are born and we die. Everything in between is gravy. Everything that you accomplish, everything that you achieve, everybody that you love, everybody that you have compassion for, everything that you strive for, that goes by so fast. And I've learned to kind of slow down a little bit. I don't take anything for granted. I pray when I go to bed. I pray when I get up. If my feet touch the ground in the morning, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you didn't take me in my sleep. You give me another day. Give me just another day so I can spread the good news that God lives, God redeems. Amen. Amen. Have a righteous evening. Love and wishes and peace. And stay healthy. God bless you. I love you.